Welcome to Chasing News. I'm Bill Spadia. We've got a big show for you tonight. First of all, I hope you had an outstanding Labor Day weekend and enjoyed the holiday day off today. We're going to talk about the race to replace Governor Christie. It is on, and it's coming up faster than you think. Plus, you're going to meet a woman who's been running an airport for the past 20 years. All of that coming up in the show. But first, I want to start with a conversation that I had with our all-star panel about cell phones and smartphones. How young should you be when you get your first smartphone? There is a movement now, actually a petition drive, that more than 2,000 people have signed across the country saying that you should wait to give your kids a smartphone until 8th grade. It's called Wait Till 8th. Now, I've talked about this a lot on the radio, and we've talked about it on the show. It doesn't make any sense to me. It seems that you got to embrace technology and move forward, but some say we've lost our ability to communicate and socialize and interact as people. I want to bring our panel in to discuss it. We're joined by Jamel Holley, who is a representative in the Assembly in New Jersey. Welcome, Jamel. Good to see you. Jeanette Hoffman, political strategist. Good to see you, of course. And Jim McQueenie, host of New Jersey Now. Jamel, let me start with you. How old were you when you started on your iPhone?
Well, I was a little bit older in my day and age. You know, I know I'm still young, but, you know, growing up, we couldn't have cell phones at a very young age. But there's arguments on both sides. I think that the way that technology is moving these days, the younger the better. I mean, technology is moving at a very fast pace. My nieces are very young, 11 and 6 years old, and they both have smartphones.
My kids had them 4th grade and 5th grade. We started them relatively young. Jeanette, you're a mom, you've got kids. When is it too early, or should I mean, I've suggested we ought to start when they're born.
Well, I have a newborn. I don't think I'd give him a smartphone right now, but I also have 2 kids in middle school who both have smartphones. I really think it depends on the kid on a case-by-case basis. There's pros and cons to both. You need to teach your children responsibility, and I tell my kids, it's not your smartphone, it's mine. I'm just letting you use it.
Jim, what do you think?
Younger as possible, Bill, and the reason why, because if you're real smart as a parent, you get something called Find a Friend app, and then you just touch that and it tells you where every one of your kids are. And for me, that's a winner.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what do you think happens to the kids in 8th grade? How do you deny that? I mean, I think all of a sudden, they would be so out of touch with every other kid.
Yes. Oh, yeah. But you know what? There is something to be said about social interaction lacking in this new generation coming up. My kids will hang out with their friends and they'll sit next to each other and just text each other. Yeah. I'm like, you're right next to each other. Go play, go do something, go ride your bikes. But I think we lose that in this age of technology.
But I think the kids generally are smarter than the apps. My guess is they've already figured out a workaround to make sure that mom and dad don't know exactly where they are.
These kids are coming out like young adults. It doesn't surprise me at all.
See, I think this is the future of the NSA. These kids that are like in 2nd and 3rd grade now with their phones. That's the future of the country, right?
But Bill, the alienation you talk about right now, listen, lest we forget, they said the same thing about TV to us, that it was going to alienate us and all we did was watch TV and stay in it. And didn't we?
All right, so what age? When do you buy the phone?
I'm thinking 5th, 6th grade.
How old's your oldest?
My oldest is in 7th grade, going to 7th grade. They got phones. Yeah. They both got phones around 5th grade because they started taking the bus, and I as a working parent, needed to.
That was what started with us. The kids were walkers. I wanted them to have a phone. When did you get a phone, though?
I was about 17 years old.
17?
17.
Wow, that's
but we're talking about my day and age, man. Come on, man.
You know, totally different. I get it.
I had the flip phones, man.
All right. All right. Thanks, guys. Always good to see you.